It was the story everyone was talking about Thursday. NBA superstar LeBron James kept basketball fans on the edge of their seats. The two-time MVP making a dramatic announcement last night on ESPN on where he will continue his career.
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Miami Heat. That was the conclusion you woke up with this morning.
That was the conclusion I woke up with this morning.
Miami fans celebrating the decision. James will join fellow All-Stars Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, who also are going to sign huge free agent deals. Meanwhile, fans in Cleveland, where LeBron has played the last 7 years, are disappointed, to say the least. Adding insult to injury, LeBron is a native of nearby Akron, making his departure that much more painful for Cavaliers fans. For more now, we are joined by Jon Rothstein, NBA insider for MSG. Jon, thank you so much for being here.
Good to be here.
Thank you. Is this a big surprise, his decision, LeBron James?
It's a huge surprise considering his loyalty and ties to the Cleveland area. This isn't really just the place he was drafted. It's the place where he grew up. It's where his family is. But ultimately, winning an NBA championship was more important to him than being loyal, and that's why he's in South Beach.
So what does this mean for Cleveland then? Kind of leaves them...
They're pretty much black, and there's no shades of gray, to be honest with you. The biggest loser in all this is Byron Scott, because he came out from an ESPN job. He was in a very comfortable broadcast-type role and took the job with the Cavaliers with the assumption that he would coach LeBron James and the rest of the ancillary parts that won 60-plus games, but ultimately lost in the second round of the NBA playoffs to the Boston Celtics. These pieces, though, on the Cleveland roster were supposed to be built around LeBron. By themselves, they're very, very ordinary. So Cleveland right now in a real state of funk.
So, okay, Miami has some huge players, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and now they have LeBron James. This doesn't leave very much money in the budget. So what is their bench looking like? It's
going to be an interesting situation to see how Pat Riley puts players around these three players. I mean, look, these are all max-type players, all players that are going to probably score 20-plus points a game. But in the second round of the NBA draft, Pat Riley was very, very shrewd, and he had three very interesting draft picks. Dexter Pittman, a 6'11" center from Texas, Jarvis Varnado, a 7-foot shot blocker from Mississippi State, and Deshaun Butler, a swingman from West Virginia, who would have been a top 20 pick, but he tore his ACL in the Final Four of the NCAA tournament against Duke. So that was a very, very shrewd pick by Riley, and there are three picks that I think that will ultimately pay major dividends for the Heat.
Okay, but what if somebody gets injured?
There's got to be some contingency plans, obviously, in effect. Injuries are going to be one big thing, but to me, the big thing for LeBron, for Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh will be sacrifice. These are three players who have really played the majority of their careers as the primary scorer. Chris Bosh is somebody who's going to be comfortable being in a secondary type of role because, let's face it, he was on a team with the Toronto Raptors that never got out of the first round of the NBA playoffs. But LeBron James and Dwayne Wade are both players that notoriously need the basketball in their hands to be effective. So it's going to be a give and take between those two, definitely to start things out. And Eric Spoelstra, the talented young coach of the Heat, is definitely going to have his hands full.
Okay, Jon Rothstein, thank you so much for joining us.
You got it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. That's Jon Rothstein, NBA insider for MSG and 1050 ESPN Radio.